We got the alarm going off, so hit us with the next.
All right, so this one's kind of fun. I think you came up with this one. So, what is our favorite subcategory of horror?
So, this one's a little easy and tough for me. So I have two right at the top here. My first one is slasher. I think slasher,
they're fun,
is probably my favorite subgenre. And like, think of everything we've discussed so far. Like, everything has been minus Evil Dead. Everything is slasher, right? It all goes back to Myers and Voorhees and Leatherface and Ghostface, Chucky. Pinhead, I guess, is a slasher. That's a little weird one, but
that was probably the original torture porn, actually.
Yeah.
80s torture porn. I mean, that wasn't a real genre yet. 80s torture porn. So I'm a Lovecraftian fan. If you're talking about just straight scaring me. And let me tell you Lovecraftian, what I throw in there, because I throw in all this religious horror into Lovecraft. I throw all the celestial horror. All that stuff is considered Lovecraftian to me. So like The Exorcist, I know it's not technically Lovecraftian, but you're a normal person coming into something that is beyond our world, right? A demon. So
yeah, it's almost supernatural.
Supernatural.
I mean, I do understand the Lovecraftian, yes, but supernatural is probably the more blanketed version.
That is the category that scares me the most. Now, my most fun, my most rewatchable slasher, I'm with you, 100%. But I'm talking about straight, like, scares me is going to be that type of horror.
I will also say, so anybody that has listened to this show more than a couple episodes knows I love the found footage genre. Like, found footage to me, and honestly, you could throw a dart and not ever hit a good found footage movie, but for me, even the bad ones, like, I don't know, there's something about it. I know they're very low budget, but you don't have high expectations going in, and it doesn't take a lot, to really have jump scares and make it a decent concept for me.
With found footage, don't get me wrong, it has its place. It's extremely inexpensive, so that's why there's a lot of garbage found footage, right? And that's why we kind of harass you. Now, found footage in general, when it's done right, it makes for good scares or sequences, right? And it's all about what you're not seeing and what your ears are telling you you're about to see. So found footage does that very well if it's done right. It's just, the problem is anybody's got a video recorder and race around some trees and call it found footage. So there's a lot of crap found footage.
Yeah, but I would argue that there's just as many crappy slashers. There's just as many crappy supernatural, like Last Rite type movies where you have like somebody possessed. I think just found footage is more often than not a B movie, and it's the shaky cam, so people don't take it seriously. Most found footage is filmed for,
but it has a strength. It has its strength. Its strength is what you're not seeing, or just out of your peripheral that you want. Like, you're like I find myself when I'm watching like Blair Witch, like leaning into the TV, or Paranormal Activity. Like, I start leaning over, like I want to see around that corner a little bit more, and found footage gives you that first person shooter type look. So I'm
but I like it though, because I feel like sometimes I am watching a VHS cassette tape, or I am watching something, so it almost feels a little bit
found footage horror.
It feels like it's a little bit more real to me. I still take slasher over found footage, because when I look at the history of movies that I watch, like, it is more of the slasher format. It's funny because Supernatural, which is kind of like Lovecraftian even, that's one of my lower rated subjects. Now, I'm not a religious person. I'm not a, you know what I mean? And a lot of Supernatural sometimes deals with that. I like Evil Dead could be supernatural. It's demonic. It's whatever. I find that amazing, but if it's going to be supernatural, it's got to be like the gore and the scares got to like up the ante for me, where I don't have to have it in some of the other ones.
Lovecraftian horror, like the movie that we're supposed to be reviewing today, Prince of Darkness, that's a very Lovecraftian type movie. I like it, right? It leaves a lot to the imagination. So I dig that. I like found footage. I don't have a problem with found footage. I just think there's a lot of garbage out there that you have to sift through. But when it's done right, it keeps you on the edge of your toes. Like, it scares you. So Mike's showing me 5, 4, 3. We're counting down here. So
Listen, I'm just letting you know we're coming up.
this is yours. So go right ahead.